Yo, what is up guys? It is Yellowfin, and in this video, I thought it would be good to look back at the Asia Pacific Grand Prix collection that I have collected so far, since this was the most recent new update, but European New Wave should be hopefully dropping tomorrow on Monday, because the update was submitted and everything, just Hutch went off of work because it was their weekend. So they're going to drop the update on the weekend, of course, but it should most likely, it's highly probable that the update will drop on Monday. It's supposed to drop on Monday, pretty much scheduled to drop on Monday. So I thought, let's go look at my Asia Pacific Grand Prix collection that I've amassed so far. And basically because it's my biggest collection for the new update. Asia Pacific Grand Prix has 241 cars, which is the most out of any of the new update collections that I've gotten so far. So let's just see how well I did in these. I think it was like 100 and something. Where's a car I got in the beginning? This guy. 115 days. I think it was 115. Yeah, well now I'm spoiling stuff. So far, commons, I was able to collect all of them, I believe. I got a few maxed out, like the Mazda Laputa S Turbo, the Secret Hideout, the Pony Hatchback. Some I still wasn't able to max out yet, but also I just didn't really feel like maxing them out. But I did get the good, I believe I got them all collected, right? Yep, I did get all the commons collected. So that was nice. Oh, it keeps bringing me back to the front. So commons wasn't anything too exciting though. There were a couple of pretty decent commons though, such as the Demio Mazda Speed, the Cosmo, and the Casper were all pretty decent. Then in uncommons, I actually did pretty good maxing out uncommons, because every time a new update drops, I like to collect all the cars, but then I try to max them all out, but it's honestly just rather difficult to try and max out all these cars because there's so many good ones and just so many in general. A lot of meh ones as well, like this thing. This thing I used it? Yeah, I used it 3 races, I guess. But I did max out the Starion. This one's actually pretty good. 37 races, 100% win ratio. Used it in clubs quite a bit. The Kabura is also a great one. 74 races, 84% win ratio. I don't think I've used the Familia. Oh, well, I guess 9 races. The Demio EV actually got quite a lot of use too. This isn't a bad car. Very low RQ, high handling, low top speed, so it seems pretty decent. Stargazer we already checked out. Then I maxed out all 3 of the Demios, the 1.5, the Sport, and the A-Spec, and then also the HRX. And then I also just maxed out a lot of other random high tier uncommons. I did collect them all as well though. I do have all the uncommons collected besides like the prize cars. Like the Mazda Sasau's maxed out, the Demio Racing's maxed, the Hyundai Kona's maxed, Mirage Cantop's maxed, the Miata M Coupe, the Mazda Luce, or Luce, I don't know. Luce sounds kind of funny though, so I don't think that's how you pronounce it. Mitsubishi Starion's maxed, the Atenza Mazda Speed's maxed. I do still want to max out this Veloster though. Probably won't have it maxed out before the new update drops though, so it'll probably stay stock for a very long time. The Ioniq Electric also looks like a good one to have maxed out. Then I got the i30 Tourer maxed, the Getz 1.6 Sport Max, the Pajero Field Guard, which is a great one. 75 races, 93% win ratio. This is one of my go-to uncommon off-roaders for clubs now. L200 I'd like to max out at some point too. So there's still like lots of maxed out projects that I have, and then a lot of stuff I did max out. Lantis, the Tucson N-Line, the Mitsubishi Tridia, Gallant AMG, this is a great one as well. Yeah, 93 races, 98% win ratio. MX-6 A-Spec, the Atenza Speed Wagon, or Sport Wagon, the Nexo, and then the Mazda Roadster Miata. 134 races, 99% win ratio. And I've used this as like an RQ saver in clubs too. So the thing is, Asia Pacific Grand Prix definitely gave a lot of very good uncommons. So it'll be interesting to see what the European New Wave update gets, because if it gives some also very good uncommons like this update did, it could be a very nice update, because like I'd say the Kabura is a great one to definitely have maxed out. Miata M Coupe, same thing. I'd say the Pajero Field Guard, you definitely need one maxed out as well. The Tridia is also a great one. Gallant AMG is a great one. The Roadster, the Atenza, and the Nexo, all of which are very great uncommons to have just in general, not like even if you want to keep in maxed out cars. They're just ones you kind of need to have maxed out. Then we go on to rares. Rares I did pretty decent maxing stuff out, but not as good as like uncommons, because there's just a lot of rares and a lot of ones that are difficult to like work up the motivation and the cash to spend on to max out. A lot of random ones, yeah. But the ones I did max out, the Street Raider, this one I maxed out pretty recent into the update too. 113 days, 59%, 59 races, 98% win ratio. The Eclipse was just a random one I maxed out. I don't even think I've used it. Oh, I guess 11 races. But yeah, that was just a really random one. MX-5 was an early max out. That one was pretty useful because I couldn't pull any of the other Miatas for a long time. So I was able to max out the worst one. Mazda 626 is decent. Not great though, it's actually rather meh. Tiburon's actually a great car. Use that a lot in Nightmare Fuel. The Starion's also a very good one because of that low top speed, so you can save a lot of RQ with it. SST is just interesting. The Bufori I maxed out just for the collector's thing. I forgot what it was called though, but like the campaign collection points thingy. Then the HSRVI and the FTO are both great ones as well I've maxed. But as you can see, there's a lot more stock stuff in the rare section. But that's just kind of how rares work too. They're just rather costly to max out, and for some of which I'll probably never use. It's kind of difficult to get the motivation to max them out. Like this Lancer took me a while to max out. It has 30 races, 100% win ratio, but that one took me quite a while to put the upgrades in and the effort in to max it out. I have both MX-30s maxed out though. Both of those are actually great cars. The Miata M Speedster also is a great one. That's when I finally did start to get the higher RQ Miatas. I have the Ibuki as well. I probably should max that one out at some point. Then the Sonata PEV, or the PHEV, but I'm just going to call it the PEV. Mazda Speed Protege is a great one. The Hyundai Prophecy is a great one. Kona Electric, the Genesis Coupe are also both great ones. Then the Astra and the Magna are decent. Here's another one like the Pajero Field Guard, the Triton Absolute. I have a second one too. That's a very good car. I'm keeping a second one just in case they jump to Super Rare so I could have two. Pajero is a pretty good one. The Outlander Turbo Diesel is a great one. I still need to max out my Mazda Speed MX-5 Miata. I got that one a bit later into the update though, 59 days actually, so I've had time to max it out, I just haven't done it. And then I got the BT50, the Mazda 6, and the Mazda 3 Sport. So a lot less maxed out rares. I also have this one, which I did put a bit of work into, but then kind of just forgot about it. So not as many maxed out rares, like not as complete as kind of the uncommons. The uncommons is a bit more polished, but still not great. And then so we'll move on to super rares, where there's a lot more stock and then a lot of random stuff maxed out too, like this Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider GST. It's not bad, but it's also just a rather very weak super rare. Honestly, it's rather weak. It has no MRA and its stats are kind of lacking. Then the MX-5 RF is not bad. The Monoposto is a great one. Santa Fe I maxed out just so I could have it maxed out. That was really the only reason, because with these super rares, as time continues on and they still remain stock in my garage, I won't really max them out ever, unless I like desperately need them. And the Hyundai Santa Fe was a car I definitely would not desperately need at any times, which is why I decided to max it out, so then I wouldn't have an excuse to get rid of it, because it would be maxed in my garage. It's kind of the same thing for this Bufori, but I've actually used this Bufori quite a bit, 35 races. I think I used it a little bit in clubs. This Sonata I maxed out just for the collector's thing, and I needed to have this car maxed. Then Mazda 3 is actually a good one. This was one of my super rares I maxed out early. I've actually used it quite a bit outside of just new update stuff. 117 races, 84% win ratio. Pajero Dakar is also a great one. I'll probably use that one a lot more. Just haven't gotten to use it much because I just got recently. This one I maxed out for the collector's thing. Tucson was the same thing. Same goes for this Mazda 3. So haven't got to use it, similar to the other one. Then there is some other great cars though. The Xella MS is a really good one, 92 races. RX-8, 167, yeah. So this one I've gotten a lot of use out of since it being added to the game from the new update. The Familia I maxed out just for a challenge. The Bufori I maxed out for the collector's thing. Eclipse I needed for a challenge. 3 MPS, have I used it? I've used it quite a bit. It's actually a pretty decent car. The Eclipse GT I maxed for a challenge. The other 3 MPS I maxed out for it being good. 77 races, 96% win ratio. i20N and the Genesis and the TMR were all for challenges. The i20N though is actually a very good car. 4.994 for 46 RQs, actually some pretty good savings. The Commodore's a decent one. I've used that quite a bit in front wheel drive clubs. CX-9's not bad. The Taiki is a good one. 179 races, 89% win ratio. Pretty sure I used that in the finals too. I just maxed out the Mazda 2 Rally and the Mazda 6, so both of those haven't gotten much use yet. Little Phil Roche is the same thing, just maxed it out. But the Ioniq 6 I've had maxed out for a bit. Yep, 207 races. That's probably one of the most races for all these cars, kind of. Except how much does the Genesis have? 123. So yeah, actually the Ionic 6 has gotten quite a lot of use because I feel like I've used the Genesis a lot too. So that's it for the super rares. I've collected a lot, just a lot will stay stock, and they'll probably stay stock for quite a long time afterwards. Then we move on to the more exciting with the ultra rares. CX-7 maxed out just because I'd probably end up fusing it if I didn't max it out. Hyundai Genesis is actually a really good RQ50 car. I see myself using it quite a lot. Veloster Grappler is a pretty solid one. It's a good front-wheel drive car, but it's high ground clearance, which makes it so high RQ. That's its only downside, really, is its high ground clearance. Then I have two maxed out Hyundai i30N performances, because I needed two of them to win the Ionic N. The prize car RX-7's maxed. I have the Outlander PEV maxed. The Mitsubishi GTO is also maxed. The Hyundai Kona, this was my first max out for ultra rare for the new update. 183 race and 91% win ratio. A pretty good four-wheel drive standard tire car. Then I've got the HSV Senator Max, the CX-90 Max, Vision G Coupe, which I'm using right now in the finals, 72 races, 76% win ratio. 3000 GT, which I'm also using in the finals. I've got the Giancarlo Group B maxed out. It'll be interesting to see if its MRA gets nerfed. Most likely will in this new update. Elantra N is maxed, the Familia Sport 4 is maxed, and the Hyundai Clicks and the Santa Cruz are maxed. I'm also using the Clicks in the finals. Then, what I was able to collect from Epix is some pretty decent stuff. I was able to get two CX-30s, which is the car that I have. I own a Mazda CX-30, so I was very happy to get two of them. One's at 113, the other one is maxed out. I will max out the second CX-30 eventually at some point. Also did get the Bufori prize car. I have a Mazda Zito 6 touring car, the Evo wagon, Hyundai Passacorda, maxed out, Mazda 3 TCR. This is one of my Epics I got earlier on. 258 races, 88% win ratio. Very useful front-wheel drive clubs car. Did also manage to get the Mitsubishi Colt prize car. And then I've got another stock Evo, a stock HSR2, stock Ionic 6. I do want to max this out at some point, but it's just difficult to max out standard tire cars because you don't use them too often. And then the Hyundai Moab, which has also gotten a lot of use, do want to max out as well, but similar to standard tires, it's actually even worse for off-roaders. You just don't really get very much chances to use them. And then I have three legendaries finishing off, one of which is a prize car, the Ionic 5N, which is at 113, the stock RX Vision, and then a 233 Mazda MX-5 GT race car, which it's gotten a decent amount of use, but not as much as like some of the others for being a maxed out legendary. And that is it for the Asia Pacific Grand Prix collection. 241 cars, 114 of which got fully upgraded. Not too bad. Only two epics though, like if we compare that to the previous update, Pacific Coast Highway. Managed to max out 5 epics from that update, but that update's also been out for quite a bit longer. But also not as much then for the lower tier stuff maxed out compared to Asia Pacific Grand Prix, which definitely had a lot more lower tier stuff maxed out. Like 29 super rares, I'm actually pretty proud of that. Did pretty good super rare wise to be able to max out 29. Like if we check out the Pacific Coast Highway, I maxed out 9. Like Learn the Savannah Way was 7. But Learn the Savannah Way also like didn't have that much. World Expo though was only 20, and World Expo's been out for quite a while. World Expo just had a lot of meh super rares though. Yeah, like a lot of these are really just meh. Well, actually, it's just more of these 5 lower tier ones right here are very meh. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. So it'll be exciting to see all the new stuff that I'll be able to collect from this new update, hopefully dropping tomorrow. I'll have videos on that. I'll also have a finals rewards video probably. Or no, joining the finals video, and then maybe rewards depending on what I get. And yeah, so that'll be it. So definitely subscribe, like, join the Discord server, link in the description. I'm Yellowfin, thanks for watching, and goodbye.